My name is Branimir Angelov, and I work in Estafet as a software architect, focused on startups and helping the startups in their cloud adoption journey into their technology stacks. Architecture in the startups is one of the underrepresented areas in their founding teams and in general, especially in the early stages of pre-seed, seed investment and Series A. However, architecture is one of the most important success criteria for the startups, especially post-Series A investment. And architecture is not just diagrams. Architecture is something that can help in the startups in all topics around people, process, and technologies. Architecture can manage complexity, can increase the business value of your products. And it's not just diagrams. Buzzwords are something that is used quite a lot in our industry, and especially in startups. The problem with them is that they can create some false sense of alignment between the different stakeholders. They are not bad, they help us understand each other, but the dangerous element becomes when you have a meeting, you use a lot of them, you think that you're all on the same page, but then when you go spread and go back to your teams and you start working on those topics, you might end up in a situation where you understand that you have quite different meaning in the actual teams. So instead of being aligned, you actually go in separate ways. Very often startup founders are focused on building IP, and the IP is very often represented by the code that is created by the engineers. IP actually it's an engineering solution for a problem, and the code is just the way that you realize this solution. But the code itself has to be maintained, has to be reviewed, has to be upgraded. So the reality is that the code is actually a liability. If you can solve your problems with less code, actually this is better for you and for your business. Startups always solve practical problems. And in solving those practical problems, it's very important to understand where is your core technology. And very often, the startups mistakenly think that all of their technology that they build, all the technical solutions that they employ are actually core. And this is not true. The reality is that a very small amount of what you build is really your core solution, and all of the rest is enabling technologies and practices to allow you to provide an end-to-end solution to your users and your customers. And it's very important here that all of those enabling technologies are usually something that you leverage the work of other companies and other startups. So you have always to be up to speed with what is the latest and greatest in those areas, and you have to constantly update your technology stack to make sure that you're efficient in the value that you provide to your customer. Startups has a developed mechanism of startup advisory to bring in external expertise into the organization. And architecture is such an external expertise. The difficulty with architecture is that it's very dependent on the organization in which you apply the architecture principles. Incorporating architecture into startup through a startup advisory board is not always efficient. What we have in Estafet, we have the experience and the team and the organization and the expertise of applying architecture patterns and technology development into our organizations. And we have found a way how to adapt those learnings and to augment the actual organization of the startup to allow the better incorporation of architectural principles. If you're a startup and you're struggling with architecture-related problems, you can reach out to us and find more information on our website, estafet.com. If you're looking for a partner, we will be more than happy to work together.